Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of the On the Lolo podcast. It's been a hot minute. And I want to thank you for your patience with me creating another lovely episode. If you guys didn't know, I went to Texas in the month of December, and on the first day, my water bottle spilled in my bag and literally drowned everything. And my camera didn't make it. So for a while, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with my camera? And then my microphone broke, and I was waiting for the company to send me a new one. So it took like forever, but we're back and we're here. And I just want you to know that I have been so excited to do another podcast episode. It has been on my mind every single day. So here we are. And what's funny is that last week I tried filming an episode. And when I tell you that the energy was so off last week, like nothing was working, like everything was fucking not working. I filmed an episode, I was about 30 minutes in. And then the camera starts saying that like it's out of battery. And honestly, that like in all honesty, it really pissed me off. It pissed me off because I had charged the camera. So I was like, what in the world? There's a force that does not want me to be doing this right now. And honestly, last week I felt very like off mentally. I made a lot of videos about it on my social media accounts. So hopefully you saw those. But if you didn't, I basically just talked about how the energies are really off lately because I think that we're getting closer and closer to where things are going to start happening. And I just want to make a disclaimer. If you have followed me for a while, you probably know that I talk about the consciousness shift that it's happening on our planet, the consciousness shift, the reality shift, the paradigm shift, all of these things. And I often see comments of people saying, like, oh my God, this girl is totally bullshitting us. She doesn't know anything. And I never claimed to know the truth. I never claimed to like have the absolute answers, but I do have a lot of good information that resonates with me to the point where I know this is truth. Okay? This has got to be the truth. But feel free to take what resonates with you. You do not have to believe or even resonate, like I said, with anything I talk about. Okay? This is information. But basically, there are a lot of shifts that are happening on our planet. And now that there is the new official president in the United States, I think that we are going to see a lot of things start to unfold because I truly think that that being was the chosen character to liberate mankind from spiritual enslavement. If you didn't know, we have been enslaved in literally every aspect of our world. Like the financial system is meant to trap you, the educational system is meant to brainwash you. Every aspect of our world is backwards and has been designed to cause us harm in a way. So I'm really excited to see how things are going to unfold. But last week, I felt so off. I felt so irritated and pissed off. And I don't know if it was the hormones because I was expecting my period or some shit, but like it was rough. Literally, when I tell you everything was pissing me off, it wasn't funny. It was really, it was really bad. So I think this is where that we need to protect our energy even more, especially when you go out in public, because when you go out in public, you're interacting with everybody else's energetic field and you can pick up so much shit that is not yours and bring it back with you. And then it's unexplainable why you feel so heavy and so like, ugh. So anyways, it's been a very interesting week, but I do think that the episode I filmed last week was not supposed to be released because I feel a lot I feel a lot better today and I feel like there's just so many good things I want to share with you. I hope you're ready. I hope you're feeling good. I don't know if you've been feeling off or if you've been feeling inspired and energetic, whatever it is. I hope you're doing amazing. Thanks for being here. So, as I said, I went to Texas in the month of December with my older brother Charles, and it was the first time I went to Texas, and I had always been excited to seeing Texas because if you guys didn't know, I was born in Florida. So for me, the United States, the only places I've been attracted to discovering is either Florida or Texas. So my brother is part of a coaching group, and the main coach was holding a live in-person event, and my brother was like, yeah, like I can bring a plus one, like do you want to come with me? I was like, fuck yeah, I want to come with you. Are you kidding me? Like talking with a bunch of people who are like minded and into their own coaching businesses, even though I don't consider myself a coach. I consider myself more of a guide, you know? We left, we took the plane, we had a layover, I think in Charlotte, and we got Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts, as disgusting as it is, it's such a treat when you go to the States. I personally really like to get an iced coffee with two creams, two sugars. And you might say, oh my God, that's disgusting. You're drinking coffee that has mold in it. Literally, we're past that. We're past that. And I want to talk about this a little bit in the episode later on about like eating shitty things, even though I've talked about it so much in the past. But we went to Dunkin' Donuts, and we shared a blueberry bagel. And like, oh my God, every time I go to Costco, I see these blueberry bagels and I'm like, oh, I want one. But then you just read the ingredients and it's a reminder that like you just can't. But I decided to treat myself. So me and my brother shared it with a bunch of cream cheese. And I love cream cheese. Like I live for cream cheese. It's so tasty and like yummy. So yeah, we get to Texas. We're super excited. We get in our Uber. And then as we're like driving to where we're staying, I'm like, damn, this place is kind of beat up. Like everything like that we were driving past on the highway was like abandoned or it was just like beat up, literally. So then we like start driving into the city and I'm like, where the fuck are we? Like it was weird vibes, I'm not gonna lie. And the hotel that we had booked, my brother had shown me pictures and I had given him my green light because I was like, oh, it looks fine, you know? It wasn't the most expensive place, obviously. And I had even told him a week before, should we get a nicer hotel to just really like get into the experience of like being entrepreneurs? Cause like that's what me and my brother are. So no, no, it's fine. We're gonna check it out. Yo, we get there immediately. A no, a no. If you have not listened to my past podcast episodes, you will not know that I don't know if I'm OCD. I don't know if I'm a little princess. I don't know what it is. But when it comes to staying at hotels or like even other people's houses that aren't clean or shit like that, I freak out. Okay. So we get there and it's like a beat up, sketchy, hotel motel scene going on. Like literally the hallways are outside. And that would have been fine if I felt safe being there, but I did not. So we walk into the entry and the lady's like, oh, you guys are my first customers today. I'm like, fuck, that is so not reassuring. So instantly we start asking about the refund policies and blah, blah, blah. But we decided we were going to stay there for a night. You know, we're going to see how the room is. Maybe we're overreacting. But my brother literally filmed me walking into the room because he knew right off the bat I was not going to survive this. So we take the elevator, everything smells, everything is like falling apart. It's just like, what? Why does this happen to me? Like, because if you guys don't know, I went to Florida in August 2024 and I lived a similar experience and it was shit. So I'm like, okay, I clearly have to go through this again. I don't know what I didn't learn the first time, but I learned my lesson. And I'll tell you what it is at the end. But yeah, we walk into the room and I'm like, hell no. It literally looks like either someone was murdered there or there's like freaky shit that went there. And I'm like, oh my goodness. There was like no way ever, ever in a million years that I was going to take a shower there. I was like, there's no way we can spend a week here, Charles. So instantly we get in the room. My brother pulls out his laptop. He starts looking at hotels and deals and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm way too tired for this. Like, we hadn't had a real meal. We hadn't really slept. It was just like, you know, those post travel vibes where you're just like surviving. So after an hour of looking online, we found this place. It's basically an apartment complex and they rent out rooms for like hotel rooms. And there was like a Black Friday deal going on. So my brother was like, you know what? Let's go check it out in person just so we know where we're staying and then we book it. So we decided to walk over there. Oh my God. I honestly just think we were in the wrong neighborhood. We went to Austin. Okay. So if you're from there, maybe you would have told me, don't go there, don't go there. But we didn't know. We're tourists, right? So we're just walking. And honestly, I had seen videos of the fentanyl epidemic, but I don't know if people were high, people were zombies, people there was nobody in the city. So it felt like an apocalyptic movie scene. It literally felt like the first episode to Walking Dead. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was trippy. It felt like we literally shifted dimensions and we hopped onto a parallel reality of shit when we were in the plane. So we're just walking. I don't really feel safe. Like, thank goodness I was with my older brother, because if I was by myself, I would have shit myself. I would have panicked. If I'm being honest with you, I would have panicked. And then at some point we were walking and there's like a guy that starts walking up to us and he puts his hand on his pocket. I'm like, "Oh my fucking god, are we about to get mugged? Oh my god." We were protected. I always believe that I am always protected everywhere that I go, and I put myself in a protective bubble, but it remains that there's places you just shouldn't go to, you know? So we walk, we make our way to the apartment room complex thingy. We see the room. I'm like, fuck yes, book it now. I don't even have to see the room. I trust this place. It's like everything's new, renovated, clean. I trust it, right? So we book it. Then we're like, let's go get some food. So we go to Chipotle because we don't have that in Quebec. We get Chipotle. There's no one. There's no one except one employee. And I don't know if you're in the States, where you live, how it's like, but every time I've gone to Chipotle, it's mostly been in Florida. And there are always people. Like, there's either a lineup or there's a few people in line, or you just got the end of a rush, but there's always people. There was no one. We were like, what the shit? So I literally asked the person, I'm like, is this normal? She's like, yeah, well, it's the dead time right now. It was like 1 p.m. Okay. We sit down, we eat. And then on our walk there, we saw that there was like a bar pub thing next door that was happy hour. And like the drinks were like relatively inexpensive. So my brother was like, fuck it, let's go get a drink. So after our Chipotle, we walk next door, we get a drink. And I had never had one before, but it's like a frozen margarita and they put a Corona inside. Wow, lots of sugar, alcohol, all this shit, and it was amazing. So we sit down, we start having our drink, and then there's literally someone that's homeless and high, walks behind in on us, looks at me, and says, "Do you have cash?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't." And I didn't. "Well, does your boyfriend have cash?" And I was like, what the shit? I have never had an experience where you're having a drink in a bar and someone walks in from like, I've gone to places where there are homeless people. And yes, it does really suck. And I have compassion for those people. But I was just so thrown off. I felt a bit like stepped on, like barged in on. I was like, what? Sorry, what? Just the vibes were off, okay? Exhausted at this point, start having the drink, and then I notice my purse. Oh my god, it's wet. My water bottle fucking drenched my purse. I had to my computer, my camera, my headphones, everything was in there. My passport, everything was fucking wet. Everything was wet. So I just start emptying everything out on the bar and paper towels and I'm trying to like blow the water out of my charging outlets and like everything's going wrong. And I'm like, what the fuck? So the next step to this beautiful story. This is the first day, by the way. We're in the same day, okay? I'm not going to talk about this the entire episode, but it's just I think it's such a good story to tell. Please let me tell it to you if you want. If you don't want, you can skip ahead to where I talk about maybe more interesting things. I just think this is hilarious. So, the coaching group for my brother, the coach, the main coach, he was hosting a guys' night meeting at his apartment. Guys only. Lucky for me, right? So my brother's like, there is a Starbucks right next to his apartment. I'm going to let you, like, I'm going to drop you off there. I'll be there and then I'll come back once it's done. Because I was like, you know what? I really don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. Like, he's my big brother. He didn't want to leave me by myself, but I told him, I'm in a Starbucks. There's other people. We're safe. Because eventually, when we left the neighborhood we were in, eventually, oh my God, human beings for real. So I felt okay, right? I'm like, this is a Starbucks. What else can happen? So I sit down. My brother's about to go to the meeting. I open my computer and it's just glitchy green lines and I just instantly bawl. I lose it. I start crying. I'm like, I cannot lose my computer on top of this. Like, what am I supposed to do without a computer? And mind you, a lot of my creative projects are on my computer. So I just start crying. At the same time, one of my very good friends who is in Australia right now, she went to Australia for the months of the winter. She calls me. I don't know why. Out at this moment in time, she calls me and then I'm crying, I'm panicking. So I hand my phone to my brother. He's trying to like take care of the computer, of me, of her on the phone. It's just chaos. So I'm like, Charles, go to your meeting. I'll be fine. After 30 seconds, my computer came back to normal. And my brother just said, Laura, we really, really need to shift our frequency right now because this is not supposed to happen. Your computer was not supposed to come back to life. I was like, okay, I will calm myself down. Let's reground. Let's recenter. Everything's going to be okay. So I end up calling my friend back. But the problem with the water that went in my computer is that all of the charging outlets were not working anymore. So I could not charge my computer. My computer had 25% battery. My phone had 20% battery. And my brand new charging cable that got soaked would not charge. So now nothing is charging. I'm in a town that I don't know and nothing is charging. And if I have no battery, I'm a bit screwed. I'm dependent on technology. Like, let's just admit it. I'm dependent, like what we all are. Like, oh my God, you don't know how to get to that place on the highway? No, I use a GPS all the time. And like, yeah, it sucks that we're so dependent on these things, but like, what are you going to do about it? Okay. So I start freaking out. I start literally hopping from one table to another in the Starbucks, trying to see, is it the power outlet, or is it me? What is it? Eventually, I just tweaked my my charging wire to the right spot. And then there's a Starbucks employee that comes up behind me and says, "Yeah, we're closing in 5 minutes." I'm like, what the fuck? It was 7 o'clock. It was 7 p.m. I have never in my days seen a Starbucks close at 7 p.m. unless it was in a mall on a weekend. 7 p.m. and you're kicking me out? Oh my God, here we go again. Then I leave the Starbucks. I start crying. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do because my brother, he didn't have he didn't have data. We decided to I would only get the data roaming for the States while we were there. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't even contact him. He won't know where I am. What am I going to do? Oh my God." So, like a big girl, I put my big girl pants on and I went on Google Maps and I looked at what was around me. And then I saw there was like this coffee shop bar thing. I was like, oh my God, they have drinks. I'm going to get one. Fuck it. So I walk over and I ordered myself an espresso martini. Honestly, I felt so vulnerable in that moment because I cried all my mascara off. I looked like someone who cried, you know? I think the guy who made me pay my bill was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But it's all good. What do I start doing? I start looking for a charging outlet. Oh my God, there's none. Amazing. Then I see a girl sitting on a booth. I go sit next to her. Oh my God, there's a charging outlet, but she's charging her phone. Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Can I charge my phone? It's about to die. She's like, oh yeah, go for it. Ah ha ha ha. My new charger still isn't working because of the water flood in the purse. I ended up talking to that girl for over an hour, 2 hours even, just asking her about Texas and her life and just I had nothing else to do, quite frankly. I decided, "Hey, there's a girl who's my age sitting next to me in Austin, Texas. I'm having an espresso martini. I'm going to be in the present moment." There was another girl sitting not far away from us. Eventually, she started talking with us as well. Hey, we did it. It was okay. And then my brother, eventually he called me. I'm like, I'm here. He walked on over. He came to pick me up. And then we went on a mission to find rice. I don't know if you knew this. Maybe I'm going to teach you something new. Whenever your electronics are soaked in water, you need to literally seal them in something with rice. So our goal was to find rice. Where are we going? There's no grocery stores. There's no real grocery stores in the city of Austin, Texas. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we found one, but it was like $20 for a bag of rice. I don't know because of the conversion rate from US to Canadian. I think I paid like $25 for rice, but hey, it's fine. We'll do it because God provides for every single one of our needs. Am I right? So the lady at the cash, she gave us a huge garbage bag. We walked back to the shitty ass hotel, whatever that was. And we were like, we're going to sleep here. Um, you could hear people screaming and talking outside. I was a bit scared. I did not get the best sleep of my life. My cortisol was high the entire time, but it's fine. My brother managed. He took the garbage bag, dumped the rice, put all of my electronics in there, and he said, we're not opening this bag for at least 2 days. I was like, great. I didn't need my computer anyway, you know? So that is the first day in Texas. The next day, we woke up, we checked out, we walked to such a nice hotel. Like we told ourselves the next time we're going to Austin, we're going to stay there. They had a coffee shop in the lobby and it was amazing coffee. We literally went back there for like 3, 4 times during the trip. So we sat in the reception, there was a fire, the couches were so cozy and nice. We just relaxed. It literally felt like the first time we were relaxing since the beginning of the trip. Anyways, it was just a crazy first day. The trip was really fun. The event was really fun. I met a really sweet girl. She lives in Miami. So, oh my god, a new friend in Florida. Oh my god, it's just cool because these events, it's like I remember like writing them in my life script. If you don't know what it is, a life script is a script of your most ideal life to reprogram your subconscious mind. But I wrote in my life script, like, I'm meeting new people that are so like minded and I resonate with them, and just asking for opportunities to meet people. Because I think that when you're, a conspiracy theorist or like more spiritually aware, not everyone's on the same vibe as you, so it can be hard to make friends. And I don't have many friends, if I'm being quite honest. I don't really have any, but I'm fine with that. But I think I've been fine with that my entire life. I think I've been fine with being by myself for so long that it's like it's not hyper independence, but it's like, am I too comfortable being by myself? Like, I'm more than open and willing. God, if you're listening, I'm more than open and willing to meet new, beautiful people and make so many new friends. And I know I have so many of you guys that I know that if we lived closer to one another, we'd probably be so close and so, I know I have you guys as my internet friends and stuff. But I think, I'm 23 years old. I don't have any girlfriends. I don't have a best girlfriend that I can call and talk to all the time. And that's okay because I am so grateful that I am so close to my parents and my big brother and my boyfriend. Like, I have a good tight circle, but it would be fun to have female friends of my age and like, oh, let's go not grab drinks. I'm trying to like not drink anymore. Well, not that I'm not trying, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not that I'm not trying to drink anymore. It's just that obviously the holidays I drank. And I know, you don't have to tell me, oh my God, alcohol is a toxin. I can't believe that you choose to still drink, even if you know that it's bad for you. Honestly, with the content that I post, I feel like I often have to justify myself. And sometimes it gets a bit annoying, right? Because I am here sharing my message. I am here sharing my message, sharing my experience, and how I approach the world with everything that I know. And when people think that that gives them permission to tell me what I'm doing wrong, but not in a loving way, in a way that's meant to like put me down. Like if you go read my comment sections in my videos, it's a lot of like people who are like spiritually awakened, but they're full of ego. It's like, well, you shouldn't be doing this. And if you're eating meat, it's super low vibe and it's toxic. And I can't believe, yo, if you were really anchored in love, you would let people do their own shit instead of trying to control and tell them, like, hey, you can't do this. I just find that sometimes people are too comfortable saying what they think. And it's not that it's not welcomed, but it's just the way they present the information feels very harsh. So, for instance, I consider myself a spiritual aware, self-aware person, right? I know that alcohol doesn't have many health benefits, but I've often shared how it has experience benefits. When it was Christmas, I was with my cousin. We had some martinis. It was fun, okay? I don't need to justify myself. The only thing I was trying to explain is that, yeah, I'm giving my liver a break. But I truly, truly, fundamentally believe that when you find out that there are a lot of things that are quote unquote low vibrational, not healthy, not this, not that, and you force yourself to stop partaking in it because of fear, that is low vibrational. So I totally respect those people who are like, you know what, alcohol, I don't really like it. It doesn't have any health benefits. I don't really like the taste of it. I don't feel aligned with it anymore. Good for you. Literally fucking good for you. And I'm proud of you. But I'm not here to shit on the people who aren't there yet, okay? I'm not here to guilt trip myself and shame myself for wanting to have a good time. Like it was my dad's birthday last week and we had some Bloody Caesars. Oof, those are really tasty, by the way. I love it. Tomato juice and like, anyways. And I pulled out the game headbands. It's like where you put a card on your forehead and you have to like ask questions and like, am I a shoe? It was fun. It was a good time. Alcohol is not always necessary. You do not have to consume it. What I'm trying to say is like, people got to get off my fucking back for living my life, literally. Because what I preach the most is that even if you are in the matrix, The point is not to exit. The point is not to hate it and shame it. The point is to free your mind from the things the Matrix gave you that you don't resonate with, that you don't align with anymore. Because there's so many people on autopilot, on cruise control, that have no idea, that have no awareness. So that's my only point, because I am here giving you full permission to explore the things you want to explore for whichever time that is. I'm not saying do the hardest drugs you can find, but okay, we're going to change the subject because I feel like I'm going to have to, like, I can hear all the Karens just being like, no, you can't. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, if you guys didn't know, in December, I held my second online live event, workshop type of thing. The first one I held was in November called Feel Your Shit. That was absolutely fucking amazing. It was based on healing your inner child and feeling your repressed emotions. Feeling your shit, isn't it a good name? It was a really, really fun live event. You can purchase the recording, like the replay of that event on my website if ever you're like, oh my God, I missed out and I want to see what it's all about. And the second one that I did in December was called Change Your Mind, which is how to write a life script, how your brain functions with matrix programming, which is also available. The replay is available for purchase if you missed out as well. And during my workshop, I launched life script offers. So earlier I said life scripts. Life scripts, it's a script of your most ideal life to reprogram your subconscious mind. I have always had a life script. It's been many years that I have a life script, okay? And it has worked for me. It has shifted my beliefs and it totally realigns my train of thought daily. The second I wake up, I play my life script. When I go to sleep, I play my life script. So it really, really does a difference for me. And I decided, oh my God, like the idea came to me that a lot of people don't know how to write their own life scripts. So I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool. Like I could offer this to people and like I can write their life scripts and if they want to like get something even more, like I can write and record it for them because yes, you have to write it, but you also have to record it into an audio format so you can listen to it because repetition is how you successfully reprogram your subconscious if you did not know that." And then the VIP package that I was offering was I will write and record your life script, but you also get a 1 hour one on one with me. I was super excited about launching this. And after many of you guys signed up for it and you all chose the package that resonated with you the most, I have done every single one of them. I have either written it, I've recorded and written it, and I've done one on ones with people. And it was really fun for the first few, but it didn't take a long time before I noticed my energy not being where it was supposed to be. Um, it became very demanding for me mentally. And as much as I had so much fun writing the life scripts, it became like I became overwhelmed a bit, because it's like I really want to make sure that it is personalized and detailed to every single person, but, like, that takes a lot of, like, my mental capacity, especially when there are so many. Especially when there are so many of you who sign up in a day, and then all of a sudden, I have so many to create. And it felt like it was really taking away my energy from being creative, from being in flow. And it felt like I didn't have time to do anything else. So I decided to remove my life script offers. For now, I am only offering the VIP one where I work one on one with you for an hour. Because the people that signed up for the one on one and the written and recorded life scripts, honestly, writing the life script after I talked to the person for an hour, totally fucking different. And I realized that I really love talking to you guys because I think I'm not bragging, but I'm definitely hyping myself up. I think I have a gift in being able to identifying where we have our little cracks. And there's nothing wrong with having the cracks, but if I can see them and maybe help you become aware of them so that you can move on or you can release them, like I will totally do that for you. So it was just really cool because there's a few one-on-ones where the person wasn't sure if they had limiting beliefs. And after talking for 30 minutes into the call, I was like, yeah, well, you just don't believe you're good enough for it. And then the person's like, no, I think I'm good enough. But then if you keep digging a little bit more, it always reveals itself because what I have observed from working with people one on one about like limiting beliefs and stuff, the number one thing is always unworthiness. I don't know who you are, what your story is, what your trauma is, but you are not immune to unworthiness. And even when you think you have cleared layers of unworthiness, there is more because we exist in a physical reality that provides us with enough evidence on a daily basis to think that we are not good enough. You can do all the meditation, all the healing that you want. The second you go back on social media, you will subconsciously believe you're not good enough. It's not anything you did. It is that your brain instantly goes into comparison. Comparison, like, oh my God, that person, like it's unconscious. It's unconscious. This is where it's so important to become aware of the thoughts we're thinking because it's like, sometimes I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually making me feel like shit because it's making me feel like I'm not good enough if my life doesn't look like that. The second that I feel that, turn it off, like go do something else because I feel like social media is meant to inspire you. It is meant to align you with the information that resonates with you at a certain time in your life. There are people that I've resonated with watching and now I don't because things evolve, people change. Like I used to be super into like bodybuilding content and what I eat in a days and now I don't give a shit. I'm happy for you if you love watching what someone else eats in a day. But if it doesn't inspire you, if you're not learning something, if you're not just excited about it, because I think people consume and consume and consume, but a lot of them is on an unconscious level. And listen, I'm not perfect. I know that I do it sometimes as well, but I feel like I will never consume something that doesn't inspire me or that doesn't make me feel good, if that makes sense. So I was really excited about my live script offers. But when I saw the resistance showing up in my energy and showing up as tension and like, oh my God, I'm getting overwhelmed. There's so much to do. There's so much to write, record, edit. This is a lot of work. I underestimated it. Um, I gave myself permission to remove the offers. And I think my ego saw it as like failure, or my ego was trying to convince me to keep going. But this is what I wanted to talk about. When you do something that you think like it's an idea, right? It's an idea, you explore it, you check it out, you try it out. If it doesn't excite you, if it's not invading you with more inspiration and more ideas, maybe it's not what you're meant to do. Because ever since I've started my journey of creating content and writing ebooks and doing this, I've tried multiple different things. When I have gotten ideas, oh, you should start, like, I don't know if you guys remember or if you've been following me long enough for that, but a year ago, February 2024, I launched an online community. Was not for me. The resistance showed up. When I don't feel like doing what I'm really good at doing, it's a sign I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I just wanted to tell you guys this because I do think that our ego convinces us this is how I'm going to make money. This is how I'm going to be successful. If I only do this long enough, then I'll be successful. No, you are supposed to enjoy it while you're doing it. There are days where you might not feel like it. It might be a little bit more demanding or challenging, right? But I fundamentally believe that if it is what you're meant to be doing, it is going to feel like a flow. It might scare you, right? Because that is totally normal. Like before I released my ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix, which you can get on my website if ever you haven't already, I was shitting bricks because it's like, oh my God, am I good enough to do this? Who's going to read this? People are going to judge me. That's fear trying to hold you back from doing what you want to do. But when you're doing something and it's like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. I don't have energy. I'm not, no ideas, no flow. Ooh, resistance like that, just stop it. If you're working a job and it feels like you have to convince yourself, you have to hype yourself up. That's the thing. If you have to hype yourself up, ooh, not sure, not sure, not sure. Like, I absolutely love writing, but I know that I'm not meant to write in every season of my life. Lately, I've been feeling very inspired to write, and that's what I'm going to do. Are there days where I'm like, ugh, I don't know? Yes, but that is not enough to prevent me from doing it. But when you're not doing what is really aligned with your soul, with your heart, with your creativity and your passion, because I truly believe that we all have a unique way to express ourselves creatively, artistically. I do it with words. I fucking love words. I live for words. But there's people that it's drawing, there's people that it's music, there's people, I feel like it's with either one of your senses, right? Like, I guess writing would be like touching because like you're touching a pen or touching a computer. Maybe like artistic more is like with your eyes, the image that you see, like if you take pictures, whatever it is. Okay. I just think that we all have something that we're artistically interested in, but not a lot of us give ourselves permission, right? Because in the matrix, what is glorified is being brain smart if you're an engineer, if you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer. But unless you're really passionate about those things, it's going to suck the fucking living hell out of you. Sorry, my language. I'm trying to stop cursing, but sometimes it gets the best of me. So when I saw the resistance showing up with my life script offers you, I was like, you know what? I do not want to propel myself into this energy even more. And I don't want you guys to feel it, right? You guys are trusting me with your desires because how it worked is I had a questionnaire, like of questions you had to fill out and answer before I could write your life script. And every time I read one, I felt so honored that you guys trusted me with your desires to share, like, I want to lose this much weight, or I want to do this. I want my partner to do this for me. It's very vulnerable to tell someone, this is what I want in my life to change. So I felt so honored that you guys felt like I was a safe space enough for you to do that. But I don't want you to feel energy from me that's not excited or that's not energetic, right? And towards the end, it was not the case anymore. And I think that you owe it to yourself to let go of something if it is not exciting you. But this is where I feel like I have to over explain. Like, let's say you want to lose weight, okay? Well, not you. Let's just say someone wants to lose weight. They're not going to feel like working out. There is going to be resistance to working out. But by working out consistently, it is an act of self love. Taking care of your body and your health and what you eat is an act of self love. And I can 100% vouch that in the past, when I have not taken care of myself, it's because there was a lack of love. There was an abundance of a lack. An abundance of a lack of self-love because you are love at the core of who you are. You will always have love, but sometimes there's an abundance of not having it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope I'm not confusing you. Sometimes I feel like I confuse people, but I think I'm just confusing myself. If you want to lose weight, there is action that needs to be taken for you to shift into the version of your being that is lean, that is energetic, that is vibrant and healthy. I used to think that if I thought hard enough about like being lean, I would magically become lean. Having a life script means that you are realigning your thoughts to think on the same frequency as the identity of yourself that is already experiencing that reality. So let's say you have a life script and it is about losing the weight, being lean, being sexy, confident, wearing the clothes that you like. Okay, your thoughts are aligned. But now the language of this realm is action, physical action. What physical action can you take to embody and shift your identity into that lean, healthy version of yourself? Maybe go on more walks, maybe eat slower, maybe drink more water, maybe meditate, maybe stretch, whatever it is. There's so many different things. Like it's not about working out super fucking hard and oh my god, 20,000 steps every day. No. Sometimes an act of self love and self care to embody this new version of yourself that is literally crying for you to embody it is so simple. Like, for example, me, I know that one thing that was really hard for me to be consistent with was like skincare, skincare or like exfoliation and like dry brushing. Holy crap, it got on my nerves. I was like, this is taking so much time. It's so annoying. And I remember one day being like, if I was the most loving version of myself, she probably does this every day. It's gonna take time. Like dry brushing, it takes 5 minutes, okay? Is it annoying because you just wanna hop in the shower? Yes. Is your lymphatic system, is your liver going to thank you? If I was the most loving version of myself, what would I be doing today? Would I be doing that thing even if my brain is like, oh, fuck it, you don't have to do it? Would I be listening to the voice in my head that wants me to sabotage what I actually want to experience? No. So sometimes the resistance shows up because it doesn't want you to shift. But sometimes there's also resistance because you're going in the wrong direction. This is where this reality is so fucking cool because you have a guidance system, which is your emotions. And when I went to the live event in December, I'm going to give you guys the name of this guy because I had never heard about him, never seen any content about him. And he just showed up on the second day and he was like talking about emotions and how it's our guidance system. His name is Aaron Abke, ABKE. Super nice guy, such a calm and peaceful energy. I could have listened to him for hours, to be honest. He was explaining how emotions, anger is just showing you this. It's in my notes from the event. But, anyways, when you're experiencing a negative emotion, it is only showing you, hey, 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 you're drifting away from your natural state of being of peace and love. Bring it back. There's something that you're doing that's not aligned. There's something that it's not always your fault. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think that we think emotions just are. And sometimes we get pissed at being angry and like, fuck this, fuck. Let yourself feel the emotions because they're just energy in motion. If you want to learn more about that, I highly suggest you buy the recording for the Feel Your Shit event I held because it was so good how I was explaining that emotions are just energy in motion. Anyways, just good stuff, all around good stuff. But yeah, if you are doing something in your life right now that you're not excited about and you have to crank yourself and you have to like, okay, come on, you can do it, just keep going. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure you should keep going because let's say we're going to go back to the losing weight example, all right? And then I'm going to conclude this little subject. Let's say you want to lose weight and then you're like on a day you're like, "Oh, fuck, I really really don't want to work out." Maybe you're going to listen to that voice in your head that tells you not to work out, and that's okay. But the next day you have the same choice. The resistance for you to not shift is always going to show up. When you're being presented or offered a new version of yourself that might be more fulfilled, that might be more wealthy, more healthy, more glowing, the real you, like the more authentic you. Like maybe you're the authentic you now, but maybe there's even another layer of authenticity that you didn't even know you could tap into. That's your intuition calling you to step into that, right? There's going to be resistance because your ego, your survival body doesn't want you to shift. So that's normal. But moving your body, you're not supposed to fucking hate it. So if you're trying to lose weight and every time you're like, oh, I have to go to the gym, and like you feel like you're going to have a panic attack or like it's not working, maybe it's not going to the gym for you. Maybe it's going on walks. Maybe it's going on hikes, doing Pilates, whatever it is. I think that people have been so brainwashed with the fitness industry to think you must eat like this and you must train like this. You, false. You must tap into yourself and find out what really aligns with you. There is no right way to do it, but you have been taught that there's only one way. And if you don't follow that way, you will not be successful. If you trust yourself and you trust your soul and you trust your like, "Ooh, this doesn't feel good. Ooh, this feels better," you're not going to be successful. This is where I think this is what I call matrix programming. Anything that tunes you out of your own being. Your own being knows the way. If you don't fucking like going to the gym, find another way to move your body that you're going to love. And yeah, maybe there's some days you won't feel like it, but it won't feel so excruciating. Last winter, I don't know if it was seasonal depression, but I did not work out for many, many weeks because mental flatlining in the sense that I don't know what it was, but I felt so fucking heavy. I didn't feel like doing anything. And I gave myself permission to ride that wave, even though the entire world would have told me, "What are you doing? You're wasting your time. You could be making money. You could be starting this. No, I need to ride the wave of feeling like ass right now. Because you know what? The contrast is you cannot have light without dark. If you resist the dark times, the dark phases, the bad days, how the shit are you supposed to experience the good? Because all of the inspiration that I have ever gotten is in my shitty days, is in the times where my mind feels scattered. Every single time I've experienced a hardship, it has inspired me. I don't know how that works, but it's just so interesting. Like, I remember, like, there's so many people who are fat and then they lose the weight, and then their goal is to teach others how to do that for themselves because it's like, with the darkness of hating themselves, of treating themselves like shit, they have unlocked a type of knowledge that translates into serving their mission of helping other people because we're all here to serve one another in love. It just depends how you feel like doing it. You don't have to do it the way everybody else is doing it. So, when you're able to tune into trusting yourself, trusting your ideas, trusting when something doesn't feel good, trusting your intuition when it tells you don't talk to that person, don't hang out with those people, you will just be more aligned with who you truly are. I really think a lot of people's problems is that they do not trust their intuition. They trust their logical mind, but their logical mind is based off of past experiences and past fears and hypothetical fears. So, I'm going to conclude this episode today by telling you, please trust yourself more. Trust yourself when you're like, this is good. This doesn't feel as good. Trust yourself when you want to rest. Trust yourself when you want to do nothing. Trust yourself when you feel inspired to moving. Trust the flow of your life. And like Bashar says, always follow your highest excitement, even if it makes no fucking sense. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning into episode 23 of On the Lolo. I do not schedule my inspired flows. So I will tell you, I will see you in the next one, whenever that is. But I'm feeling a lot more inspired to doing podcasts, which is great because imagine if I forced myself to do the podcasts when I had no ideas and I didn't feel like it. You would feel that and you wouldn't even want to listen to it. Respect and honor yourself and trust yourself when it's telling you, I don't feel like doing this right now. Sometimes you won't feel like it, and it's an act of self love to be like, we're going to do it anyways. But there's times where forcing it doesn't do shit. So I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing weekend whenever you're watching this. I love you with my entire heart. If you have not checked out my ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix, I highly suggest you do because I'm so fucking proud of it. I'm so fucking proud of myself for trusting that idea because every day I see someone telling me how like it's changed their life. And I'm like, what? So just do what you want to do what calls you, do what you love to do, trust yourself, give yourself permission. And I love you. I will see you in my next episode. And thank you for watching.